It's the Sox and Chasers tonight at 6:30. Join me, Dan Karcher and Dan Atchison, for the broadcast here on Xtra Sports 1300.
Welcome back, Drive Time Sports, driven by Suss Superstore here on Xtra Sports 1300. Colorado is becoming a soccer destination. Just this week, you had the Brazilian national team, the U.S. women's national team, play tonight up in Denver, and now coming in July right here to Colorado Springs, Mainz 05 from Germany's top league, the Bundesliga, and to tell more about what is really going to be more of a soccer festival and a celebration of the sport at all its levels this July is Justin Rose, the organizer, one of the organizers of the Colorado Cup, along with his brother Jason, who are, oh, by the way, Colorado natives. So they're bringing the sport home here. Justin, thanks for joining us. Right off the top, can you kind of encapsulate what Colorado Cup 2016 is going to be?
I can, Ryan, and I just want to say thanks again for having me all the way here from Frankfurt, Germany. It sure is great to connect a soccer country like Germany with a state that I was born in, raised up, and played soccer in. And, what we're going to do is it's called the Celebration of Soccer Week, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to encompass, everything that's really sexy from international games to everything that we all know American soccer needs, and that's basically the youth getting great training from Mainz new professional coaches, right? And then not to mention the coaches in America or Colorado can have firsthand knowledge and feel and see what the Mainz coaches are doing and everything in between. So camps for kids, coaching clinics, all-star games for the girls, all-star games for the boys. And then, we have international games at the Switchback Stadium, and then, the second game against Leones Negros, which will be televised internationally. So we're really excited to do all the whole encompassing thing, if you will, and like you mentioned, not just an international game, come in and leave.
Yeah, but a lot of people do that, Justin. So why are you throwing in everything else? Why so much emphasis on the youth level?
Being a youth player when I was younger, it was a dream. It still is a dream for many American kids to play abroad. It's a dream for many serious soccer players to play professionally. And if you want to play professionally, nowadays, as you know, we have the MLS, which is great. But if you really want to test yourself, the dream is still to go abroad. And, having lived in Germany now the last 9 years and doing a lot of stuff with the Bundesliga, we're bringing the world champions, current world champions, to America, to Colorado, which, again, we had to educate the Bundesliga. Why Colorado? And we all know when we're in Colorado, it's such a beautiful place, and training-wise, Colorado Springs is, the Olympic city of the U.S., right? So when you think of Olympics, you think of just amazing athletes. And that's exactly what these Mainz new professional players are going to have access to.
And is that, not to peek too far behind the curtain, but is that the selling point? Is that why Colorado Springs, is that why Mainz signed on, was because they see that our city hosts the U.S. Olympic team and it would be a great place for them to be?
That's one of the reasons. As you know, we have many amazing cities in Colorado, but it doesn't hurt when you get to train at the Air Force Academy, which a professional team needs about 1-2, top fields, and the Air Force Academy has, 20 to 30 or more. So this was a no-brainer for us. And then, of course, the logistics of it, just so you know, is it really helps to have an amazing resort like the Flying Horse, which is about a 9-minute, 10-minute drive away from the training facility. Anything more than 20, 25 minutes, and a professional team would say no.
Justin Rose, one of the organizers of Colorado Cup 2016, joining us here on Drive Time Sports. So explain to people, I think if you mentioned Dortmund, I think if you mentioned Munich, that quite a few people, even if they were only general soccer fans, would those names would ring a bell. but Mainz is right there. This is a team that's up and coming in the Bundesliga, and they're coming over here to Colorado Springs.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and having lived here, you might know more in depth why Mainz is on the uprise. They finished 6th in the Bundesliga this year. That means they're going to play Europa League next year. You and I talked about before off air, every Bundesliga and second Bundesliga team has to have a youth academy, and that's been the rule for the last 12 years. So the Germans really take pride in their youth academies, and if you know anything about the youth academies, you know that Mainz 05, or Mainz 05, is one of the top youth academies. So these players you see playing at Bayern, Dortmund, Schalke, Leverkusen, these kids are basically, they grew up through the Mainz youth academies.
And
right?
now
that makes sense.
Right.
And one more thing, Ryan, I want to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Mainz second team plays in the third Bundesliga, which you can't get any higher as a second team in the same club. So, you have both teams playing at the highest levels, and that's kind of unheard of.
Yeah, I was just going to say, now it's just up to Mainz to stop getting their players poached by the big spenders.
Money talks, Ryan.
Right, absolutely. So let's get more in depth on the youth side of this, because I can tell in talking to you that this is where the passion lies for you, is connecting with the youth, because you were coming up in the sport when it wasn't quite as in vogue, not quite as popular as it is now. So tell us, for the parents and coaches out there, what opportunities are going to be there for them to learn from one of the Bundesliga's best teams?
Hey, fantastic. Glad you asked. First and foremost, it benefits everyone that's a part of this event, and let's not forget how important it is for Mainz to get out to America and try to, kind of grow their fan base and promote their style of play and how they develop the youth, which is very important for Mainz. So it just makes sense to, when you have a Bundesliga team that has, they're coming to Colorado. And if you look around, there's, California, Florida, all these other states get these great chances. And now Colorado has a chance to have a Bundesliga team playing against a Mexican team, and that doesn't happen too often, if not at all. But these kids are going to be able to either play at the Air Force Academy, during the professionals, right? The same location in the Springs, and the other camp will be in Vail, which is also a beautiful place to go to and train with the best. And the coaches will have that as well during the week in the Springs, as well in Vail. Yeah. And if you want to get better, if you want to improve, it's nice to know that the coaches that are there have a lot of experience, are professionals in Europe. And if there's one thing, like you mentioned, growing up, our coaches, a lot of them had never played the game. And now what's different is the fathers and mothers of today are ex-players, played at high levels either in America or even some abroad. And that's what the kids nowadays are that's why it's different, and that's why the sport has grown so much. But yet we're still behind because of the day-to-day competition that the Europeans or South Americans have, but yet the quality of coaching. And we're happy to say that we're bringing at least 10 to 12 coaches, Bundesliga coaches, to Colorado to really give back their knowledge to these kids, girls and boys.
And you have two separate camps. They're both on, at least for Colorado Springs, they're both on July 11th, correct?
So they start July 11th
okay.
and end July 15th, so Monday through Friday.
Okay, and the separation is ages 9 to 13, and then ages 14 to 18. Is that both genders, or do you have a boys'
Correct.
camp? Okay,
Correct.
It's everyone together. Very cool. And then people can go to ColoradoCup2016.com, and you can find that. I will mention that the registration fee takes a little bit of a bump on July 1st, so you're going to want to get in quickly on this. And is there? I would assume that even though these are world-class coaches, they have to keep the number down to some point, or is it?
I definitely want to get in and
yeah.
register as fast
Yeah.
as possible. And Ryan, I do want to mention that we are out there talking to companies to to help sponsor kids.
Okay.
Whether you're a company, a big, small, medium size, or even a person that wants to give back, you can go to our sites and sponsor a kid. So how great is that? And you can be acknowledged or not. It's whatever you want to do, but that's kind of what Funding One's Freedom is all about. It's getting everyone involved to help each other, so that's, don't forget, kids, to, ask around, ask the local, barber or a restaurant or someone that you that you go to frequently, and see if they would sponsor you, because they'll benefit from a business as well.
Yeah, and that's a really cool part of that. I'm glad you bring that up, Justin, because right on the front page, people on ColoradoCup2016.com, they can go and they can see this sponsorship program. And then also you guys are allowing, soccer teams or youth groups to fundraise through Colorado Cup 2016. So it's not just the sponsorship of the kids, but also they can help their entire team by doing this fundraising part that you guys have.
Ryan, this really sits home because, growing up and being at a certain level that I was playing soccer, I couldn't always afford to go to regional camp or national camp. And I think it's fair to say there's a lot of players now that still can't afford certain things. So we want to give the ability for kids to, and that's what freedom stands for. Mm-hmm. If you look at our freedom, the freedom stands for something, and we don't want anyone to be a victim, and really find a way to make it happen. And there are ways to make it happen, and we want to basically allow these kids and teams and families to raise money through what we're doing, and give those kids that don't have the money chance to compete and to play. We want to make this just available for everyone, and that's important.
Yeah, and fundingonesfreedom.com is the website to see the social enterprise entity that is behind this whole Colorado Cup. Let's shift to the friendlies, the big ticket items. Yeah. So Mines will play on July 12th. They'll play at Switchback Stadium against our Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and then the 13th. It will be Mines taking on the team from Mexico.
Leones Negros, correct, Ryan.
Right.
And, again, for a city like Colorado Springs to have a professional team is exciting. If they're in their second year, coached by Steve Trittschuh, who I've known for a long time, and the assistant coach, Wilde Harris, him and I played together at Clemson. You got yourself a second-year team that have done already great things, and now we have the chance to bring them a Bundesliga team to play against. You have MLS teams that have never done that, let alone USL or NASL. So from an exciting standpoint, from a wow effect, ask the Switchback players, what's that going to be like? Wow, we have a chance to really showcase our stuff, and what a great way to motivate your players, knowing that you're going to play against a Bundesliga team. That's great, And before that game, don't forget, Ryan, we have the girls' all-star game, chosen by myself and some coaches to give 32 girls a chance to showcase their stuff, have some fun, and the same thing the next night with the boys.
And how are they chosen? Are they kids that are enrolled in the camps, or how are you choosing? What's the pool that you are choosing from, Justin?
Good, Ryan. I'm glad you asked. One thing about Colorado soccer is you have guys and gals that have been part of the association for a long time, and people that are there now. Mike Freitag is the head of coaching. He was there. He coached me when I was younger. So that's what's so great about Colorado soccer. And we have them as a partner. And sure, they know the players. They know the ones that have worked really hard in Colorado, and so it's not that we're getting the best. We're going to get the really, really good ones, but we're also going to give some kids that have worked really hard a chance to shine, from the girls and the boys, because as an ex-player, as an ex-youth player, you ask any kid, and no one's going to say no with that opportunity. And that's just thanking our sponsors like Colorado Soccer and Soccer Stop and, Tapia, all these sponsors that we have to really make sure that event is going to be really great.
Again, people can log on to ColoradoCup2016.com And then also, don't forget fundingonesfreedom.com, and you can find out more about what they do. In addition, you're going to want to get on this. As soon as tickets are available, get them. And as soon as you can get your kids enrolled in those camps with Minds 05, it would behoove you to do that sooner rather than later. Justin Rose, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for bringing this event to Colorado Springs, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Ryan, guys like you are going to help make this a success, especially this being the first annual, and there'll be many more to come. But just thank you so much for just doing what you're doing, and keep it up. We really appreciate it.
And there is Justin Rose, one of the organizers of Colorado Cup 2016, joining us here on Drive Time Sports. Again, ColoradoCup2016.com for more information on that. Crunch Time is next. Stick around. This is Extra Sports 1300.